Well, I'm back. I hope I have sound because I have no frigging clue if I have sound. A bunch of people were watching, but only 2 people said anything about not having sound. So do I have sound? I guess I'm going to find out. Let's see. Do. All right, Kelvin, my man. Sweet. So I was telling a story, and I don't know what anyone heard, so I'm going to start this bad boy again. So I was talking about domestic violence. This last week, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday, I had 3 domestic violence cases. All 3 were dismissed. All the clients were happy. The reason I was talking about that is because while I was in court on one of my cases, or one of my other cases, a prosecutor came up to me that I had a very delicate case with. Starting the hall. Oh, starting the hall. So you did hear some of it. All right. Well, I gotta tell the other people on there. All right. So I got this volatile client. Him and his partner have a fight. He's charged with domestic violence. Partner ends up calling me. Partner has some issues too. It takes me, this is a long time for a domestic violence case. It takes me 6 months of going back and forth with prosecutors until they allow him to go into a diversionary program. And a diversionary program is a plea and pass. He's got to plead guilty. He's got to go for a year. After a year, the case gets dismissed. He's got to do anger management, drug and alcohol evaluation, treatment, that kind of stuff. So he complains all the time. One day he says, "Oh, I'm coming over there and blah, 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 I'm going to show you who's boss." And my receptionist is like, I don't know, some guy is like, he's like screaming into the phone saying, when he calls, you better answer, and he's on his way up there, to tell you. How's that, folks? Please, someone tell me that it's working. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Kelvin. I'm trying, brother. Luckily, I'm in 1 mile per hour traffic here on 95. So, all right. So I turned the Bluetooth off. I got a brand new car, so it must be taking over somehow. I will figure it out, but I turned the Bluetooth off. So hopefully we're good to go. All right. So I go into the hallway with this guy, and he's supposed to be paying me because now he's violated, and now we have to have a big hearing, And I got to figure out a way, and I don't know how to do this, to make sure that the court has jurisdiction over this person who allegedly violated a plea and pass agreement. I've never done that before. I've never had either someone got arrested and they got kicked out, but I've never had a case where there was an allegation kind of without proof. Well, in this case, wow, we've been having a lot of car accidents here on 95. Sorry, quick aside. I drove by here on Monday and there was a car flipped over, and now there's a pickup truck down in the same ditch, almost the same spot. Anyway, all right. So I tell the guy, hey, it's going to be X amount of dollars, and I don't kill him. I think I charge him like $2,000. So I go, look, I don't know if I can keep you keep you in the program and get the case dismissed, because I don't know if the court does it. So I'm trying to research it. So we go to court. The guy goes out in the hallway with me, and he goes to hand me the check. And it's kind of like in the movies when someone's handing a check, or remember that movie Ghost, right? Where Whoopi Goldberg hands the check to the nun. It's for like, I don't know, $1 million or something. And the nun goes to take it. And she kind of fights. That's what this guy does to me. And I'm like, dude, like, what's up? He goes, well, are you going to guarantee me that you make this happen? And I go, I can't guarantee like that I don't have a heart attack in 10 minutes, you know? I don't always eat the best food, right? So this guy just becomes belligerent. He's like yelling at me in the hallway, and it has nothing to do with me. He's the one who was allegedly, abusing his partner. So anyway, he doesn't give me the check. He's like, oh, so okay, I'll withdraw then. Best of luck to you. I walk in the courtroom. The judge is angry. The judge kind of gives us both a thing, and he starts to make comments like, who are you? You're like, who, And I'm like, dude, you got to shut up. Like, you're going to end up in a jail cell. So I make an argument for him. The judge is like not having it. And I said, Judge, well, I'm withdrawing. We have irreconcilable differences. And she goes, well, you need to file a motion to do that. I go, okay, as soon as I get back to my office, I'll file it. So I go back, I file it. She grants the motion. I'm off the case. Thank goodness. Right? So then I hear from the prosecutor, hey, like, we had a court hearing and he had the public defender. He's like yelling at the public defender, and like he's being rude to the judge, and then the judge isn't having it. And I think she held him in contempt or something. That's what the prosecutor said, right? So I go, no way. And then they ended up charging him again, like with some additional charges, right? Even though they hadn't done it at the time that I was in the case. So I'm in the courtroom. This is this week. This happened like a while ago, guys. And this prosecutor walks over to me and goes, hey, did you hear what happened with Mr. Smith? And I'm like, no. She's like, he's in custody again. Like he lost his cool with like probation or something. And like, I don't know, he got arrested again. Like I think he got like violent with his probation officer or something. So it was just one of those things because, when you deal with domestic violence cases, right? I don't know the truth, right? I know what's in a police report, but I understand that there's two sides to a police report, right? So respectfully, no disrespect to police officers, but they only know whatever they asked or what was told, and there's always two sides. And sometimes I don't feel like they ask enough questions, right? So you take a case, and like this week, right? In the last 5 days, 3 cases get dismissed. Okay, did my job, but the other part of it is like, I hope that everybody's safe, right? I hope that the men, women, I have heterosexual couples, I have homosexual couples, I have lesbian couples, right? I have all different people that I represent. And the reality is, and the facts and statistics back this up, more men are charged with domestic violence than women, but I have both sides, right? So I don't know what's going to happen. I try my best to converse with these people. I try to, let me straighten this a little bit. I look crooked to myself. I try to talk to them. I do believe in God. I'm not like the perfect guy or anything, but I try to share, I try to counsel them, right? Like counselor at law. I try to give them advice and pep talks, and sometimes I'll pray with them. I mean, it just kind of depends on the situation. Some guys like, hey man, like I'm going to take my lawyer hat off right now and I'm going to do this. Some women, then I'm like, hey, listen, like, I'm not your girlfriend, but listen, if someone's putting their hands on you, or you feel like you have to put your hands on the other person, that kind of thing, like, maybe you consider time apart, or counseling, or being more involved in the church, and just something that, like, where both parties can kind of work to reconcile. Nice truck, brother. And most of the time I feel like it works out. I had one guy, oh my goodness, it was up north, and I represented him on several cases, and this guy, another one with, like, he would talk to me in such a way, like, one day I was like, I just go, hey man, I was like, if you're gonna throw a punch at me, throw a punch at me, like, let's get it over, because you're talking like you're gonna beat me up, right? So if you're gonna throw a punch at me and you're going to beat me down, well, now's the time. Let's go. Let's put our dukes up and let's throw down. And he started to laugh, and I'm like, he's like, you really think I'm I said, well, you're talking to me like you're talking to some underling, like you're talking to me in a downward, and I grew up in Central Islip of New York. Like, you don't talk to another man that way if you don't want to get punched in the face or a bat across your head or your back. Like, you don't talk to people like that. When I'm talking to someone, whether I'm bigger than them or whatever the case may be, there's no reason to talk to another human being like there's some kind of, like, I don't know, kicking bag or something. So I literally represented this guy once, got the case dismissed. Well, like I said, I don't really like to take the same client on for the same kind of case. He gets into a case again, same person. So now what happens? Listen to this story, guys. You're not even going to believe this stuff. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So this guy hires me, and what happens? His girl, right, reaches out to me. She's like, hey, Mr. Foley, can I come to your office? I want to help him. I know that there's something called, like, a waiver of prosecution. Is there something, like, some document I sign? Or I don't know if she knew the words or not, but she's like, I know there's some document. Can you give me that document? So I said to her, yes, I can give you that document. She goes, well, you tell me what to write, right? And I go, no, I can't do that. Like, that would be illegal. It's a conflict of interest. I can't represent the defendant and then represent the victim and give them legal advice. So I said, all I can do is I can literally hand you the document, and you can write whatever you want on the document. I'll show you how to fill it out, like your name here, like that. That's about your name, your address, the defendant's name. I can show you how to fill out the form, but whatever you write, I can't comment on it. I can't say, oh, that'll help or that won't help or add this. I can't do that. That would be illegal. I would be breaking the law. I can't do that. So right before, it was so weird, I had another attorney. I was sharing space. Really good attorney. I'll just tell you his name. Orlando Gonzalez, right? Very, very stand-up person, ethic, moral, like just a good person, a good man, a good attorney. He's in West Palm Beach, right? So Orlando had said to me something about, hey, you know what I do is I record the conversation. I let them know, or he goes, Rod, you should video record it or you should audio record it. I was like, okay. Like, he's like, you don't want, like, so the lady comes into my office. I say, I'm going to hand you the piece of paper. She starts asking me questions. I go, ma'am, hang on. Do you write? You see what's in my hand? Yes, I do. I have a recorder. And she goes, what? And I'm like, I have an audio recorder. And she goes, I don't understand. And I said, well, if you're going to talk to me about anything, I have to record it because you're not my client. If you want to talk to me, I record it. If you don't want to talk to me, then, have a great day, right? Whatever you want to do. So I hit she goes, I don't care. She goes, you can record it. So I'm recording it. So she starts to ask me, like, what do I say? I'm like, I already told you this, ma'am. I can't give you any legal advice. So I give her a few minutes. I put her in the conference room. I come back. She writes something. She's like, is it good? I go, I can't comment. All I can do is, if you hand it to me, I will hand it to the state attorney's office in an effort to get Mr. Smith's case dismissed. And she goes, okay. So I send that. Now, the crazy thing is a few weeks later, I call over to the prosecutor's office because I'm going, well, what's going on? Like, And I think the case got filed. And I said, filed? Like, that's kind of weird, right? I mean, a lot of domestic violence cases, the fact pattern, right? The woman basically recanted and said that she was drinking and like had, smacked the guy and this and that, and he had held her arm, something like that. So, okay. So, but I called the prosecutor. I was like, hey, can you tell me what's going on? And all of a sudden he's very curt with me. He's like very, I don't know, like short. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, well, respectfully, Mr. Foley, you sent me that document, but I don't believe anything. And I go, okay. And he goes, well, the victim came into my office and recanted her recantation to you, meaning she took back what she said to you, and she said that you coerced her and threatened her to sign a document. I was like, huh? Right? Again, anyone that calls my office, any victim, doesn't even matter if domestic violence, like, no, like I'm just not, here's a piece of paper, that's it. Like, all I can do is hand you that. And most of the time I just email it to them. What's your email? I'll send it to you. I don't even meet with them in the office anymore. So he says this, and I'm thinking like, now it's been several weeks, and I didn't think it was like the first time I had recorded. I'm like, wait a second, was that the one that I recorded? So I'm like trying to go through my call notes, and like sometimes I make notes when I'm driving. And so I find it, and I'm like, whoa. So I send him an email, and I go, look, man, you don't know me, and I haven't had any case. This was up north somewhere. So I was like, you don't know me, but I'm all about ethics. I don't cheat to win. I win, I lose. It is what it is. I do my best to fight for my clients. Like, that's it. Certainly not telling anyone what to do on how to write an affidavit or what to say, or threaten them to write it. So I listened to the call, and I'm like, thank God for Orlando Gonzalez, because he said, man, you should record that. And I did. And I sent it to the state attorney, and he's like, hey, I didn't really need that. It was like I was giving you the benefit of the doubt as an attorney, but thank you for sending that, because now I heard the whole conversation, and obviously you're right, you didn't do that. And he ultimately, I think because the recantation and then recantation again, and how many times is she going to recant or whatever, ultimately the state ended up dropping the charges. But then the guy got another case, and I was like, hey, dude, I don't want to deal. So anyway, man, that's sort of the world of domestic violence. I gave you some of the tough stories, but there's good stories too, and there's good people that I deal with, and kind people. Some people are totally innocent of the charges, and some people are cross over here, and some people are totally guilty. You really don't always know. All you can do is do your best to fight that battle. So anyway, guys, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. I'm about to go have dinner with my wife. God bless you. Have a great week. Take care.